So let me show you some of the things that happened on those last few trades. Now, look at column J here. Column J is the number of contracts that I chose, right? Almost religiously, I was one contract. Every once in a while, I would go to two, very rarely, right? Here's four, but that's the XSP, so it's a super small trade. Now, once I got up to about, 200 trades or so, and I was up a good 45%. My account was up around $34,000. I had made about $11,000 in the account. I felt that I had graduated big enough so that I could now start trading a little bit bigger. Instead of taking one position, I could go to two positions. And so that's what you see reflected here. I start increasing the number of positions here, and you can see 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So now that's a big adjustment, basically going from a position size to doubling that position size. And so you have to kind of work into that. That's not something that you just do and you think, oh, everything's perfectly scalable. In a perfect world, everything is perfectly scalable. But the reality is it's not, because you come across all these different problems, and now your volatility of your equity is getting bigger, as you could see. You get bigger wins, but you also get bigger losses. And so that all changes. And so it's something that you have to adjust to. I think I went too big too fast. What I should have done is maybe every other day gone to double the size and then slowly graduated into it. So that was probably the first mistake that I used, that I did, where I just went into the doubling of the account size, the scaling, too quickly, number one. The second mistake that I made actually happened, this trade right there. That was on Friday, February 24th, where I lost both sides of the Batman. I didn't follow my rules, and that was because I got out of one side of the trade thinking I was going to game the system here, and because I felt the market was going towards the call fly, so I got out of the put fly, but it didn't. It reversed on me after I got out of the put fly. Now I had no hedge. The market reversed, and so I ended up losing both sides. So that was a double size loss there. Double size loss. That hurt a lot. Instead of a $700 loss, that should have been a $200 loss, right? So that was the first big mistake. And something similar to that happened here as well. I made the same mistake twice. So you can see that there were a myriad of things that caused my biggest drawdown to date. And now, of course, today I followed my rules and I got out with a small loss. And so that one today was okay. Even though it was a loss, it was a good trade. These were losses, but they were bad trades. I could stand for like this loss here, or even this loss here. That was a good loss, believe it or not, because I followed my rules. That was actually the other side of this $1,700 trade. So that was understandable, right? That loss was a good loss. This loss was a good loss. These losses were very bad losses because for a number of reasons. One is I didn't follow the strategy, and I was too aggressive in my increase of my position size, and those things hurt me. Now, did they really hurt me per se? No, they didn't really hurt, because, hey, the reality is that I'm still on this nice upward trajectory in this strategy, but I could be much higher right now, and I shouldn't have experienced these losses, but they're growing pains. And on top of that, because of this market, it was the worst possible market that you could be in while I made those two critical errors, right? And it's weird like that. The times where you think that you're going to alter your strategy, scale, maybe go off strategy a little bit, are the times where you make bad mistakes because of those things that are not part of your strategy, and because maybe you get too aggressive, and the market is exhibiting the worst possible behavior for this particular strategy that it could, all at the same time. And so that's what happened. However, the good news is that because we use defined risk, because our risk is so small, what could have been disastrous in other strategies for other traders is really just going to end up being the slightest of blips on my strategy, on my equity curve as I go forward.